So I was on Google, Googling stuff, and I saw this tier list pop off, and it was on Reddit. And I know, engaging with Reddit, already big mistake, but I thought this was the worst thing I've ever seen. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's pretty bad, and it's Ben 10 related, and I made some Ben 10 content recently, so I was like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. I have some Ben 10 on my mind. So let's look at this tier list, or list, I should say, because it's not a tier list, it's just a list. So it's top 30 strongest Ben 10 characters or forms or whatever. So let's look at this. First of all, Alien X and Celestial Sapiens in general. Yeah, stated to be omnipotent in the verse. You know my stance on it. I don't think omnipotence exists, but in the context of the series, they're allegedly the strongest there are. They might be introduced something stronger eventually in the series if it ever continues, but as of now, they seem to be the strongest, so that's fair. A Ben with the Celestial Sapial arm. It scales, as he says here, to the Quantum force field, which contains the Annihilarch. So, that's fair enough, Nothing to complain here so far. Though, I don't know why not just say it's as strong as Alien X? I feel like that's way easier, but it's fine, whatever. And then we have Ben with the Ascalon plus full power of Dagon. Possesses the power to rewrite the entire universe and wields Ascalon, the greatest weapon in the universe. Well, I don't think Ascalon is the greatest weapon in the universe. If it was, why is it not above Alien X, which is part of the Omnitrix, which is the greatest? Actually, I guess if you want to say it's not a weapon or whatever, but it's a weird statement. It could rewrite reality, so I guess that's fine. But yeah, it's nothing too crazy. I don't know if I agree with this, but that's fine. There are probably stronger things out there than that. Stuff that works on a multiversal level, but we'll get there. Vilgax with the is the same thing, basically the same thing minus the Omnitrix, I guess. And then we have Dagon. Sure. I mean, I don't know about this, but whatever. And then we have Ultimate Way Big, because he was able to, I guess, hurt the Dagon. So all those characters in this list here are just Dagon adjacent characters. So if you think the Dagon is the second strongest after Alien X, then you got it, bro. Then those are very strong. But then you look below and you're like, Chromastone was able to damage Dagon after Dagon one-shot the wielder of the Ascalon, the greatest weapon in the universe. So this kind of disproves this whole thing, because Chromastone catching a stray attack and sending it back to Dagon, in my opinion, is not as powerful as feedback, catching the Big Bang and the whole universe. So is this argument basically saying that one attack from Dagon is stronger than the whole universe? That Dagon is just strong enough to one-shot the universe, but for whatever reason, he doesn't do that? And even if he doesn't want to do that, are you genuinely going to say that one attack from Dagon is stronger than the Annihilarch or the Big Bang? I don't think so. Even then, why is Charmcaster in Ledger Domain not above Chromastone? She literally killed him. You might say, well, that's a specific version of Charmcaster. This is a specific version of Chromastone, and all the characters above are specific versions of those characters. How come no Ledger Domain Charmcaster who was easily able to overpower and kill Chromastone? Also, how is feedback with the Annihilarch below that? because the Annihil arc contains the universe, arguably the timelines that were created at the start of the universe. But even if you want to say just the universe, doesn't that include like more souls and more life energy than Charmcaster gave to the Dagon for her father? Meaning that it's already more powerful than her. If Ledger Domain exists in each universe or in each reality, assuming each reality has their own Charmcaster and Hex and etc., and their own Gwen and their own magic and stuff like that, doesn't that mean that every universe has their own Ledger Domain? Doesn't that mean that each universe contains Ledger Domain? Does that mean that feedback, when containing the universe, when containing the Big Bang, contained either the Ledger Domain or what will eventually become Ledger Domain, including all the mana, all the magic, and everything, every part of matter that will ever exist was contained there? How come that's weaker than Chromastone, who lost to the power of, like, what was it, 500,000 souls or something? Or was it Charmcaster powered by 500,000 souls? I don't understand how this works. Very confusing. Again, Charmcaster should be at least above that. Full power Sir George. So this is the problem with this, okay? All of this just stems from the fact that, like, Escalon has this crazy lore of, like, oh my god, it's the greatest power in the universe. You can rewrite reality. Yeah, we are told this, and we are told that the Dagon is strong, but, like, did they ever do anything on screen? No. Do they do anything impressive? No. Like, we know that Escalon can destroy a planet, but that's about it. And also, Escalon is fighting Ultimate Humongosaur, of all people, who's getting clapped by Way Big, who's getting clapped by Atomics, who's getting clapped by Feedback. How is Feedback with the Big Bang below the guy who fights Ultimate Humongosaur, when Feedback in base, without absorbing anything, beats Ultimate Humongosaur? Doesn't make any sense. And how is... You're gonna say this because all of those are, like, hilarious, because you see what's the last thing. It's the number 10 is Ben with the self-destruct power. The Omnitrix energy can nuke the entire universe and everything within it. Okay, but look what's below. It's Paradox, who's stated to nuke all of existence. It does say, and Eon as well. He says that it could be number 3. Well, of course it is fucking number 3. What do you mean? How are those multiversal characters, the Chrono Navigator, stating to destroy multiple timelines, multiple universes, potentially all of existence, which includes all universes and timelines and stuff like that? How is that below characters that are stated to destroy universes? Doesn't make any sense. These characters should be stronger than all the universal levels. Should be definitely stronger than Ben with the self-destruct button. It's not like Paradox couldn't... Like, think about this for a second. If Ben destroys the universe, you really think that Eon or Paradox would actually be destroyed by that? No, they would just leave. They wouldn't even affect them. They're not even affected by something as stupid as, like, the universe being destroyed. You know? For something like Eon to disappear, to be destroyed, to be gone, they needed... or Vilgax needed a bomb that destroyed literally every single timeline except one. So, like, I doubt that destroying one universe would eliminate Eon at all. And then, I don't know what all aliens post-Fate Amp is supposed to mean. They were all holding the Annihil Arc's expansion. No, they weren't. They were not. I mean, technically, I guess you could say they were, but the Omnitrix was just cycling through those aliens as fast as possible in order to get to Feedback, who can actually do it. So I don't think all those aliens, like, somehow are stronger. Like, I don't think the Worst and Pesky Dust and fucking Walkatrot are fucking holding the Big Bang. And if they are, why are they below Feedback? Again, doesn't make any sense that Paradox and Eon, with the Chrono Navigator, which is multiversal, are below universal characters. Clockwork. Look what it says. Absorb the energy to destroy all infinite timelines within the universe. Within himself, sorry, not within the universe. That's like an multiversal level feat and is below universal level feat. Now, if you want to say that by the Annihilar, when the Annihilar creates a universe, it actually creates all the infinite timelines that come with it. So the Annihilar itself is multiversal, that's fine, but that still would mean that it's stronger than all these other bombs here that are Dagon and Escalon related, because that would make him multiversal, as opposed to those guys who are like universal. So Clockwork should be there. Also, one thing that we should point out, that Maltruant is not here. Look at this. Great point. But did you forget about Maltruant, or am I just blind? By the way, how would you scale Benten Cosmology? Okay. Maltruant isn't that strong at all. The dude has been damaged by Rook's Rocket and Atomic X. Isn't strong as well because the Benten fusions are weak, and plus DNA margin works, a whole being, whatever. What is the list above X? Bro put him above base Humongosaur, but forgot that that Maltruant is stronger than Clockwork, first of all, and he bullies the fuck out of Eon all the time. How are you even putting someone who's stronger than Clockwork not in your top 30? Like, he genuinely, this guy believes that like Ultimate Humongosaur can beat Maltruant, who is a Clockwork that actually can use his time abilities. Also, he somehow believes that that Atomic X is weaker than Ultimate Humongosaur. What are you smoking, bro? Like, what are you even yapping about? Anyway. Whatever. Yeah, Maltruant not being here is insane. Ghost Ship Aliens. This is from a comic, I think. Those are some aliens from a comic. And this guy says potentially infinite dimensional. If these guys are infinite dimensional, wouldn't that mean they're like hyperversal or whatever the fuck? Wouldn't that mean that they're like stronger than anything else in Ben 10? Like the top we have so far is like for the show itself, because the comics are not canon, but the show itself is like 27 dimensional at most, and that's like I assume where Alien X would be. How the fuck are those infinite dimensional beings below the 27 dimensional? It doesn't make any sense. How are they below Clockwork? Or I don't know, Feedback, or Ben with the Omnitrix? If it doesn't even make sense. The Quantumilia, who are 5D, and then Hugo and the Cosmic Mom. Now, Hugo being here is fine. Hugo is that one beast, the creature thing that was like Paradox's friend from the introduction of Paradox episode. But I think what's funny here is that it says Ghost Ship Aliens, potentially infinite dimensional. Below them, Quantumilia, 5-dimensional. So between number 15 and 14, there's a like infinite amount of dimensions between them. Isn't that hilarious? And then we assume that like everybody above is also infinite, like Feedback. Ben with just the Omnitrix exploding on his arm is like, Ultimate Way Big, Clockwork. Like all those guys are just like all the aliens in Ben 10 at number 12. All those guys are just infinite dimensional, I guess. Good to know. And they're all stronger than the Quantumilia. Here's where I come in, and this is hilarious. How are the Quantumilia below Clockwork? Do you understand what Clockwork does? Do you understand what Clockwork is? How... Sorry. How is an alien that manipulates space and time above characters that are beyond space and time. Now, again, if you think there's 27 dimensions, spatial dimensions in Ben 10, the Quantumania are not above all space and time, but they are above the space and time of the universe, making them five. That's what makes them 5-dimensional, because space and time are 4 dimensions, and they're 5th-dimensional, which makes them above the dimensions that are within like the normal universe. So then how the hell is Clockwork a character that manipulates time below characters above characters that are beyond space and time? That doesn't even make sense. Same with the Cosmic Mom. The Cosmic Mom, or the Nalgian, or whatever you call them, the toy of our child was on the level of the Omnitrix. Okay? Or more advanced even. Even if let's say Alien X doesn't count, it should be still above feedback. It doesn't even, I don't even, that alien is higher dimensional, at the very least, according to this, 4th dimensional, right? Wouldn't that be above basically anybody here, any of his Ben's aliens except Alien X? None of his other aliens are like 4th spatial dimensional, so they all would be weaker. It doesn't make any sense. Gravitak with his black hole thing, sure, I guess. I mean, it's probably too high, but whatever. Echo and Dito Echo and Dito is hilarious. Listen to this. Can duplicate themselves an infinite number of times to amplify their attack potency. Wow, guys. You know, if only Echo and Dito would, multiply themselves an infinite amount of time, they would actually be able to, like, defeat anybody. What a stupid ass fucking... What do you mean? That doesn't even make sense. First of all, it would also take them an infinite amount of time for them to duplicate infinitely, because they don't do it infinitely. You understand that their duplication comes within numbers, right? Are they called rational numbers? Right? Not irrational numbers. The duplications come in like numbers. For them to be infinite, it would also take them an infinite amount of time. So they could never become infinite, even if they wanted to. Even if they were to become infinite, it doesn't make any sense, because a character who's like, if I'm universal, am I waiting around for an hour? Let's say it takes an hour for Echo to make infinite copies of himself, right? Assuming he can just do it in a second, which he can't, obviously. Am I gonna wait here for him to do that, or I'm just gonna punch him? Even if that's the case, if I'm universe level and he's universe level by duplicating himself into a infinite amounts, wouldn't me punching him once just destroy all of this, like, duplicate? It doesn't make any... This is a stupid ass fucking argument. Doesn't even make sense, because Gravitek is not universal, so I don't even know. Black holes or singularities are not like universal, so that's not how it works. None of this is... All this is stupid. So, Anodite Gwen, kill gap above Ultimate Humongosaur, 10 times greater, so 2 times way big. I don't know where she got that from. He got that from. He made that up. There's no math where Ultimate Humongosaur, where she's like 10 times stronger than Ultimate Humongosaur, so that makes her 2 times stronger than way big. That's never a thing anywhere. Ball Weevil, after charging up his energy ball, can one-shot a mutated Toku Star. It can't. It didn't. This is what I'm talking about. People don't even pay attention to the show they're fucking watching. They're just saying random shit. Boll Weevil didn't fucking one-shot anybody. I mean, he one-shotted characters, don't get me wrong, but he didn't one-shot like Toku Stars. What he did was that he basically hit one of his balls on a shoe of a Toku Star, of a Waybad, and then that kind of exploded, and the Waybad fell into the null void. It didn't like kill or one-shot or made it unconscious. He just literally hit it, made it fall into the null void, and that's it. No, Boll Weevil is not like at that level. I don't know what made you think that was the case. Giant Trombipular, he's stronger than Waybig, or could beat Waybig. Yeah, at his strongest, he can fight Waybig. That is true. Malgax, arguably implied to be stronger than Waybig. True, that is true. Waybig and Garbage Monster, 5 times stronger than Ultimate Humongousaur. See, this is hilarious. This guy thinks Waybig is 5 times stronger than Ultimate Humongousaur. And I can guess what this is based off of. I think it's based off of the fact that Waybig basically one-shotted 5 ultimates at the same time. So in his mind, if you hit or beat up or one-shot 5 people at the same time, that means that you're 5 times stronger than one of them. But if you know anything about anything, that's not how it works. If I beat 5 people in a fight, that doesn't make me 5 times stronger than a human. Even if I beat all of them in one punch, like square in the jaw, just pam, 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 just one after another, like Bruce Lee style, like he does in movies, right? Even if I do that, that still doesn't make me 5 times stronger than a human. That doesn't make any. That's not how anything works. I don't know where he got that idea from. Atomics, he can one-shot Ultimate Humongousaur. True. I think Atomics and Waybig are basically around the same area of strength. Ultimate Echo. More powerful than Ultimate Kevin. Yeah, that is true. Fair enough. And Ultimate Kevin can fight... yeah. Look, Ultimate Kevin, more powerful than Ultimate Humongousaur. Yeah, that is true. And then you have Ultimate Humongousaur, 10 times greater than base Humongousaur. Now, the only reason this guy thinks Ultimate Humongousaur is stronger than base Humongousaur, why he thinks it's 10 times stronger, is because when Ultimate Humongousaur fights all those Humongousaurs, he beats like 10 of them in like one attack. But that doesn't mean he's 10 times stronger than them. Beating people, even one-shotting people, even if there's like 100, if I one-shot 100 people, doesn't make me 100 times stronger than them. That's not how it works. And he didn't kill anybody. He just knocked them out, and then they kind of came back to defeat him. At the end, the Humongousaurs defeated him. I mean, to be fair, there was like a lot of them, and I still think one Ultimate Humongousaur is still like strong enough to defeat like 20, 30 normal Humongousaurs, but that doesn't mean he's like 20 times stronger in terms of strength. He just can defeat 20 times, 20 amount of that guy, right? There's a difference between me being able to beat 5 boxers and me being 5 times stronger than a boxer. That's not how it works. And then you have 4th form malware. See, this doesn't make any sense because... Hold up. 4th form malware. Malware in his 3rd form, I think, 3rd and a half, already was defeating... he was already defeating Humongousaur. He was already fighting Humongousaur, and then eventually was overpowering him and about to defeat him. After that, he fights Waybig. They fight for a while on more or less equal terms until Malware becomes stronger, gigantic, and he's strong enough to just overpower and absorb way big, making him way stronger than way big, at least stronger than way big. And and that version of I'm sorry, somehow the version of malware that's stronger than way big and Humongosaur is below all those characters who are weaker than way big according to him. This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even make sense for him to be below Ultimate Humongosaur. Feedback beat Ultimate Humongosaur, and the ultimate form of malware was probably stronger than Feedback. Like, Feedback did better against him than Way Big, for example. You could argue Feedback is like on the same level as Way Big or Atomics, especially since all those characters also one-shot. Since all those characters, Gwen, Way Big, Atomics, Feedback, all those characters one-shotted Ultimate Humongosaur. So all those characters should be in the same tier. I don't know why he decided that Feedback, who's stronger than Ultimate Humongosaur, is not above Ultimate Humongosaur, and Malware, who is on par with Feedback and Way Big, is not on that level. I don't know why he did that. I don't even know why he thinks Malgax is stronger than Malware. Like, the fourth form of Malware should be at the same level as Malgax, maybe stronger even. So this doesn't make any goddamn sense. And then you have Michael Morningstar can give Humongosaur, Ultimate Humongosaur a fight, and Library Hex and Alpha Rune characters can fight Ultimate Humongosaur. Cool, sorry bro. Feedback still beat in one shot basically Ultimate Humongosaur. So it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so this list is not that good. Some of the logical inconsistencies here are like insane. Like some universal characters being above multiversal level characters, or somehow Maltruant, who's stronger than Clockwork, is not here. Or the fact that somehow Clockwork is above Quantumania. How would Clockwork even affect the Quantumania, right? He would fight, Clockwork would try to like use his powers, and Quantumania would be like, buddy, there's no time here. What are you trying to manipulate? Whatever, this is stupid, this is dumb, but this is funny, and this is fun.